Yo, you listen to more about something else? Once again, I just want to say thank you for listening. Please like, share, review. If you like the show, if you love it, please tell another friend. I truly appreciate that. But on today's episode, we talk about the dangers of resistance, a little bit of God, a little bit of politics. But here's a clip from the show. Like, those are the dangers of things that you let to carry on that are not healthy in your life. You want to make a change? Make a change. Resistance is only going to play its part if you allow it to play its part. It's just like being in a toxic relationship. Like, it's only going to get worse. Yeah, it'll get better. It'll have its roller coasters here and there, but I don't know. It's just a lot to deal with, and I just don't understand why people are comfortable living like that with all the resistance in their life. And now that you've heard that, let's begin.
First off, I'm going to have to ask you to go and rate this show, maybe even leave a comment. And you could do that on iTunes or SoundCloud, and for Android users, you can now listen via Google Play. Now, this podcast may contain explicit content, just saying, so open your mind, relax, and listen to this dope-ass podcast.
For thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Hey, food for thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest.
If people don't understand that, well, they don't understand nothing.
Truth spilling, leaving victims to my honest ways. I come in peace like an alien from outer space. Internet pirates riding waves on your webpage. Download shit, click the link, press play. I don't mean to pray, but I pray every week for myself, for my fam, cause we all gotta eat. Protein, no more sweets. Till I'm caked up on the beach in Belize. Food for thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Wait, food for thought coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Wait.
Yo, you listen to more about something else. My name is Joshua. And I just want to say thank you to any and everybody that's been rocking with this show. I truly appreciate it. But if this is your first time listening, if you like the show, go ahead and like it, review it, or share it. You can do one, or you can do all three. Either way, I truly, truly appreciate it. But yeah, I want to start off with this. What is the voice in your head telling you right now? Whether it's telling you to do something good or to do something bad, what is it telling you to do? And I open up with this question because it's like, you got to learn how to make good decisions, right? You really have to learn. And it's like, we don't learn these things. Like, nobody really teaches us these things. It's just a self-taught type of thing. You know, a lot of the greatest people in the world are in the position that they're in because they made the best decisions. And I'm a big proponent of small decisions determine your life. And that's where I leave it at. It's just like, it's so important. But, these voices that we hear in our head telling us to do this and do that, can't you really trust it? A lot of people say follow your gut instinct, which is that voice telling you, hey, go this way. But it seems like a lot of us don't really go with our gut because we don't trust ourselves. Like, if you learned how to trust your gut, quote unquote, that voice, that inner voice, I feel like life will be a lot better for a lot of people. I mean, I try to figure things out, especially when I take a test or something. It's like second guessing. So instead of picking C, I picked A because I second guessed myself, even though I knew the answer. And like, it's always been like that for me with tests. Like, I always second guess what I wanted to go with. And, you know, you can't really live life like that. A lot of people say they took a chance. A lot of those chances are not really that good. And that's the thing. It's just like whenever you want something or even want somebody, and we can use marriage and put it into perspective, is that, yeah, you love somebody, but is that what your heart says, or is that how you feel currently at the moment? Like, it's very important to try and distinguish between the two. But think about it, because it's very important. But anyways, if I were to tell you, like 10, 15 years ago, that simple companies like Netflix and Amazon were going to be one of the largest companies in the world back in the day, you would laugh at me, right? It's very important to pay attention to things like this, especially when it comes to like investing in yourself and, you know, just going all through different types of obstacles in life that, look, if you continue to water the seed and water the soil, it will grow. So recently, and this is just a theory, well, I've been having this theory for a long time about Netflix and Amazon, and about Amazon going into different things, trying to venture out. Like, they're going to have their own store soon. Well, they already bought Whole Foods. Netflix, same thing. Like, look, I always knew that Netflix wasn't going to be $7.99 for the rest of the time, because it just doesn't make sense. We got too many users. Started noticing that they started adding money, started increasing the price, you know, little things here and there, but who cares, right? So Netflix is now trying to buy a movie theater, well, like a company that owns a bunch of movie theaters. And I think that's smart, because Amazon is also trying to do the same thing. Why am I saying this? Because it takes a long time to get to where you need to be. It really does. You're not going to be who you are or who you want to be today, but tomorrow, just maybe. Yeah. Anyways, we're in September. Look, it's very important that you realize that we're in the fourth quarter of this year, and the question arises, like, what have you done? What have you done? What are you going to do? Like, it's important. If not, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we have different priorities. But yeah, it's really important to figure out these type of things. Like, what have you done and what are you going to do? You want to start something, go ahead and start it. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to point that out. Things that bothered me this week. Recently, there was a video of two women and their kids, and they were smoking weed. Yes, this is probably the worst thing that you can ever see on video. Well, not the worst, honestly. It's not the worst. It's just really bad. And, you know, honestly, I hate seeing when black people do silly things like this. Because it's just like all that stuff that you think is cute for little kids to do as they're a child, like, you know, kids that curse and whatnot. Like, it's not cute. You developing behavior that's going to happen. I mean, that's going to make things worse for them later on in life. It's not the video that disgusts me, right? It's the sentencing of the women, right? They're both locked up for 45 years. I believe it's 45 apiece. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. 45 years, which is why I talk about decision making like it's the small decisions in life. But there's this police officer that recently just got 15 years for murder. So it's just like, which one is worse? Murder or 30 seconds of a video? Once again, I'm not trying to like compare the two. I'm not trying to say one is worse than the other, but it's just like, what's going on? And I believe that 45 years is a little too much. And yeah, you know, they showed the video of them crying and whatnot, and people were just like, well, you know what? You should have thought about that before. Yeah, they should have thought about it. But 45 years? Come on, dog. That doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't. Next thing that bothered me this week, I recently just read an article about the Detroit water. how it's on the verge of being just like Flint. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like gentrification to me. It's weird because these little things that you hear about right now, they start turning into a whole big thing. Like Flint is getting gentrified. People buying houses for $100, $500. Like Flint is gonna be up and running in the next 5 to 10 years. I'm telling you, the Midwest, that's where to be in the next 5 to 10 years because that place is gonna be booming. But anyways, the last thing that bothered me this week, a lot of funerals. Aretha Franklin's funeral was recent. John McCain's funeral was recent, and it's very, very odd. Like we're living in a very odd time right now, and we got Donald Trump as a president, of course. I mean, that's your president, not my president. But he's the president of the United States. And, people take all these shots at him and whatnot. And these are higher ups and these are people that you look up to because they're your celebrities. Because some of you people look up to celebrities as the ones that make all the decisions and they speak for you because in some sort of significance, they kind of mirror who you are as a person. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just making shit up. But we look to celebrities to speak out about certain things, and speaking out about Donald Trump constantly, it just doesn't do anything. And everybody's just like, oh, he told him. No, not really. First of all, the most powerful person in the country can audit you like that. And I don't know if you want that type of smoke, but they can cause some type of smoke in your life. And I don't know. I just don't want it. Personally, I just don't find it effective at all. Because it's just like, you talk about how he's a racist, about how he says this and how he says that. Look, first of all, we ain't even got to acknowledge the motherfucker. That's on you. It really is on you. So it's just like, as a celebrity or as a higher up, you would think that you'll have more common sense to know that, look, if you really wanted to stick it to Donald Trump, the primaries are coming up right now, recently in November. Go vote. Go vote. That's the only way we can change things right now. So I don't understand everybody going out and, oh, F Trump, this Trump, that Trump, he's a bigot, blah, 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 whatever. We already know what he is. We've established that from the beginning. So what's going to change by you saying your 2 cents? God, people are so stupid. I don't know. It bothers me because it's just like, yo, yeah, I put this speech together and it sounds well and I'm going to get a standing ovation because I'm ripping the president. I mean, I don't know. I don't want that. I don't want those problems. But hey, those are the things that bother me this week. So lately I've been struggling just dealing with life. As far as like trying to balance things out and just figure out life for what it is. I've had multiple discussions with people throughout the week and last week too. And, resistance is a motherfucker, it really is. Like recently I've been feeling like a heavy weight is like holding me down from just doing anything. Or just in general, like I've been lazy for the past 5 to 7 days. That's a week. I mean, but still, I'm very big on saying that, life isn't short. We're given every opportunity to do every single thing that we want to do. But here we are, like, you shouldn't be chilling as much as you are. And a lot of people say, look, you work too hard, you gotta chill out. Yeah, I get it. Sometimes you do have to chill out. Sometimes you gotta take a break from things, and maybe that's what this was a break. But when you want to do something, like study or work on your craft or whatever. And it's just like, you can't. For all reasons or some reasons or reasons that you don't even know, you just can't get into it. You know, that's why I talk about meditation, because it's very important. You got to release what's going on in your head. I realized that my mind was working at a super fast rate, and like it wasn't slowing down, so I couldn't even think about trying to focus on doing one thing. Really, that's no excuse, but I don't know, that's just to say that resistance really, really sucks. Like, I read this book about resistance. It's called The Art of War. And it's by Stephen Pressfield, I believe. But it's a really good book because it treats resistance as if they were an actual person, you know. Like, we don't think about resistance as in somebody that's holding you back. You know, a lot of us like to put the blame on friends and family and circumstance or whatnot, but maybe resistance is this thing that you just can't shake. So the question is actually, how do you shake resistance? I mean, a lot of people like to have the answer. I can't say that I have the answer for everybody, because literally it's up to you. That's my answer. It's up to you. What do you want to do? I become more aware of my time. And that's why I feel so bad when I'm like chilling, when I can be working. Maybe that's just me, but it's really important to figure out your own answer for all the circumstances in your life. Like, what do you do? I just told myself, look, if you're going to sleep, go into bed. If you're not going to sleep, stay out of the bed. Very simple concept. I also started waking up earlier than I usually wake up. I wake up early, but earlier. Because sometimes I feel like I don't have time. And if I feel like I start my day earlier than I already started, then things become positive. For the last 2 weeks, you know, I haven't really been working out as hard as I want to go. I do my simple here and there, my 4 days out of the week. But in my head, I'm just like, yo, you got to go. You got to go harder. And that's the thing. It's just like, what's stopping me from going harder? Like, literally, it's myself. And you don't even think about the concept that you might be at war with yourself. Because we're under the assumption that we're competing with our peers and we're competing with people that we've never met before. When really you're supposed to be a better version of yourself. You know, looking in the mirror, it's you you're competing with. How can I be better than I was yesterday? Am I a better version? Or am I just this person that says that I'm a better version? Like physically. But I don't know. It's one of those things that it's a love and hate relationship. If you like those type of things, like if you like challenging yourself, if you feel like adversity makes you a better person, yeah. But a lot of the things that we go through in life, we can remedy ourselves. You don't need to outsource. A lot of people outsource for a lot of things, and especially in college, they go on Adderall or whatever new drug there is these days when it comes to focusing, or when it comes to depression or anxiety, they take medicine for it. I'm just like, I don't know. There's a remedy behind it. But when it comes to resistance, it's just like, what do you do? And that's why I like, just decluttering in my life, decluttering, especially my room, my workspace. It all comes in handy. But like I said, figure it out, because those things come, and when they come, they will stay. It's like having an unwanted guest, if that makes sense. But it's just like, all right, bro, the electricity bill is up. the cable bill is up, the gas, the water is all up, bro. You gotta go. But I mean, if you treat it like that, how do you get this unwanted person out of here, out of my life? Because look, resistance gonna come and go either way. Sometimes it's uncontrollable, but the things that you can't control, what are you gonna do about it? You see what I'm saying? But look, think about it, meditate on it. Whatever you're going through your life in this remainder of the year, look, figure it out. Because at the end of the day, it's just you, it's not anybody else. You know, a lot of people like to seek advice and seek help. Yeah, seek advice, but only seek advice from people that are much more wiser than you. Not your best friend that's going through the same shit or even worse than you. Now, you want to know something? You know, if you continue to let resistance play its part in your life, if you continue to tell people that, yo, it's not working out for me because this and that, like, first of all, you need to hold yourself accountable. You know, my manager, he's big on ownership and, you know, is it your fault or what? But you need to figure it out, because if you're not giving your all, especially in living every day, which I don't understand about people, then what are you doing? You know? Like, those are the dangers of things that you let to carry on that are not healthy in your life. You want to make a change? Make a change. Resistance is only going to play its part if you allow it to play its part. It's just like being in a toxic relationship. Like, it's only going to get worse. Yeah, it'll get better. It'll have its roller coasters here and there, but I don't know. It's just a lot to deal with. And I just don't understand why people are comfortable living like that with all the resistance in their life. And even when it comes to just like starting something, you know, you want to open up a business, you want to be a movie director, or you want to make music or whatever, like simple things like that. And, you know, the resistance there is like the anxieties of not knowing where it's going to take you, one, and how people are going to perceive it, whether they're going to like it or not. And, you know, there's one thing that I realized about the second one that I just said is that treat it like art. If you like it, if you put your all into it, then fuck what anybody has to think about. Like, yeah, opinion matters, but it's just like, why should I let somebody's opinion that's probably not even as educated as you are get in the way of whatever? You know? Or even like, you're working at a job, you don't like that job. You know, the smartest thing anybody would ever say is, you know, find a better job. Find a job that you like. But you not putting your effort into the day, it's not an excuse for you and your job and how you're going to treat your day. I know you go to stores and you go places and you make phone calls and you talk to people and you realize that they don't really like their job. You can just tell. Like, not everybody wants to work at Walmart. Not saying that it's a bad job, but I'm just saying, like, customer service is customer service, right? You don't know what you're going to get. Well, I mean, actually, at Chick-fil-A is, I don't know, it's unprecedented. Like, you ever go to Chick-fil-A and you, like, it's like you're surprised every time by the customer service. Anyways, but yeah, it's like those type of things. You can control it if you want to control it. Seize the day, wake up in the morning, have some time to yourself, go to work early, have some time to yourself again, work, go home, do what you want to do. If you're not being accountable for yourself in your actions, yeah, resistance will play its part. But if you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, you ain't got nothing to really worry about. Say, man, if you really like the show, and I assume that you like it because you're still listening to the show, but if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please, 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 write us a review. It helps people find the show, for one, and it also gives people an idea of what's going on in the show without actually listening. So, it attracts other people, and I'm just asking, if you don't want to, it's cool. If you do, God bless you. Now back to the show. You ever wonder who God is? Like, I don't know. It's very weird trying to figure out things for what it is and what it should be. And, you're just here trying to figure out your life and better yet, try to make an understanding of what's going on in the world. But you can't. It's so easy to say that everything happens for a reason, but here we are struggling, going through adversity. So I propose this question. Do you ever wonder what God really intended for you and your life and your family's life? First and foremost, I think it's safe to say that you need to worry about yourself. A lot of people say, they're doing this for their family, they're doing this for whatever. And, it's not fair. Like, I feel like you have to be selfish sometimes when you're dealing with just everyday life, because you're the one that goes through it. A lot of our parents, they sacrifice for us, and, it should be greatly appreciated because you are the person you are because your parents sacrificed for you. Now, it doesn't make sense for you to not be living the best version of yourself that you can be. It doesn't make sense for you to be struggling. It doesn't make sense for you to not have what you need because your parents sacrificed their life. So I ask this question again. What are you doing? What is your life purpose? I'm not here to tell you that I know the answer because I don't. I really don't. But I can tell you for sure that, I've taken steps to try and figure that out. And just by doing that is trying to figure out who I am. It's very odd to try and live in America right now as a black person, dark skin, Middle Eastern, just any type of ethnicity besides white. No offense. It's very odd. You have to live with the fact that you are who you are and how you were raised, but yet you're American. It's also a problem because privilege counts in some cases. In some scenarios, it does count. But that really is an excuse, right? It shouldn't be an excuse. A lot of people have privilege and yet they can't even figure themselves out. And that's what I'm saying. It's just like, who are you? Who do you want to be? Why do you want to be this person? And I think the biggest question always to ask is why? Like, why do you want to be this person? Like, what do you want to accomplish? How do you want to accomplish it? Like, there's 3 simple questions. What do you want? Why do you want it? And how are you going to get it? When are you going to realize that the world revolves around you and we are just living in it? That's why I say be selfish. We're here trying to figure out our lives. We're trying to make sense of things. And we have a God, or if you want to call it the universe. Like, really, it's the same thing. Like, people try to discredit who God is. You don't have to sexualize who God is, but literally, there's something out there. It's unknown if you don't know. It's known to a few. And everybody calls in his name. But are they really who they say they are? There's one thing that bothers me, especially when it comes to religion and talking about God and whatnot. And this is me on my soapbox because it bothers me. And maybe it's just a personal issue that I have. But it's just like, why aren't we teaching certain things to certain people? And this is my thing. I feel like when it comes to religion, I feel like people know the truth. And those people that know the truth, who are teaching to people that don't know the truth, They realize what they have there, but they realize that they're not going to spread it out because it doesn't sell to the mass. It's just not good enough. To me, I like truth. Sell me truth and let me figure out what I'm going to do with that truth. God is real. I mean, I don't know what else to say after that, but God is real. Like I said, it's for you to figure out how do you want to interpret that. We're all going to go through problems. We're all going to go through trials and tribulations. We're all going to be at the mountain and we're going to have to try and figure out how do we get to the top? And on top of that, how do we get to the top and then how do we get back down? And that's the thing. It's just like a lot of the things that I realize when it comes to going to church or whatever, even if you don't go to church, like it doesn't necessarily have to be going to church, but it's just like you're always asking God for something. You're asking God for something. When God gave you power and dominion over everything on this earth by using your tongue, which is the most powerful weapon on this earth, and yet we're still struggling. The reason why I always say figure it out is because that's all you have to do. Like, the answer is just not going to fly to you. But if you sit there and you say, hey, God, show me how to do it. Show me the next step. It sounds much better because it's just like, hey, you've accomplished this and you know exactly how to do it. And B, things become much smoother because your problem solving skills are much more better. That's why I say, look, don't make a reaction off of emotion. And every small decision is a big life decision. But once again, it's just like, it's one of those things that you just have to take it and run with it and figure things out for yourself. And once again, like, look, you got to figure out who you are. Like, I've come to the realization that, you know, I love reading and I love different things, like really, really different. And that's okay. But I always find myself going back to art, like photography and drawing and just things like that, because that's what I did when I was little. You know, I love cartoons and, you know, people call me childish still because I still watch cartoons, but I'm just like, I don't know. This is who I am. But who are you? You know? And it's not to say that I've truly found myself, because I haven't. Identity is like the biggest thing. Like, that's one thing that I struggle with is, who am I? But it's just like, I don't mind taking the step right now into trying to figure that out. I'm 25 years young. I still got time. But like I said, figure it out. Figure out what you like and figure out what you don't like. And run it in the middle and see what you can do about it. Once again, your life is controllable. It really is. You just have to sit down, think about it, write it down, and take steps after you figured out every little thing. But, you know, that's just me on my soapbox. You can do whatever you want with that. Run with it. If you think I'm just yapping, that's cool too. You know, I've been watching Power for some years now, and it's starting to get annoying. I feel like it's starting to get annoying because I'm emotionally attached to these characters. I'm emotionally attached to this show. Look, I can't deal with no more deaths. I can't deal with all the suspense. Is Angela going to jail? What the hell is going on in Tariq's head? Tasha a hoe? I don't know. It's just too much. But I feel like, as far as like shows and stuff, you really have to give credit to those people that are putting out content right now. Like, I feel like a lot of the content that's coming out is really good. Like, and I feel like it's because a lot of people are getting that opportunity, especially in the realm of like YouTube and just putting your stuff on social media. Like, it really helps out. But look, if you haven't caught up on Power, catch up on it. It's important. A lot of people are talking down on this season, but I'm just like, shut up. Shut up. You got some haters. But anyways, question of the day: is money the root of all evil, or is that who you really were in the first place? And a lot of people say, if somebody showed you who they truly were, believe them. Like, I don't feel like money is the issue. Like, it's not. You could say it's the root of all evil because a lot of bad comes out of it. A lot of the lottery winners, a lot of their lives have been taken away, or they've committed suicide or whatever, because it's just overwhelming. You don't know. You came up too quick. I don't want to say you didn't earn it, but you didn't really work for it. You get some numbers. I don't know. But it's those type of things. It's like the people that you hang around, especially when it comes down to money, that's what's going to go down. People are going to start sticking their hands out. But when you needed $1 or whatever, they weren't really there for you. I don't know. It's a weird dynamic. Like, yeah, family is one thing. Family, like, I don't know. And one part is always going to be crooked. Not every family is perfect. Actually, no family is perfect, actually. But yeah, like, besides that, when you finally start getting the things that you want and you start having life the way you want it to be, yeah, the real you is going to come out. I mean, a great example is Kevin Durant. He got 2 rings, possibly going for 3 this year. And it's not to say in a negative way, but Kevin Durant, he was getting all these technicals and getting ejected, yelling about the fight in multiple games with different people. And, a lot of people were just like, he's just acting up because he got these rings. I'm like, no. Kevin came out and was just like, look, the person that you see is who I am. That's what I'm saying. Like, once you get these things, like, the real you comes out. That's on you to determine whether it's good or bad. I don't know. It's weird. Once you get what you want in life, what happens to you? Who do you become? But yeah, I don't know. Ponder on that. What are you going to become when you obtain the thing that you want the most? And how are you going to treat people? And how are you going to treat yourself? A lot of people want money, but, it's not going to happen for everybody. I'm just being truthful. Because not everybody's willing to work as hard. But, I like to end the show with words of wisdom. As always, listen to your own advice. Simple, right? But yeah, please, everyone's journey is not your journey. Enjoy life for who you are and be who you want to be. Once again, please like, share, review. You can do 1 or you can do all 3. Either way, I appreciate it. Check out the website, moreaboutsomethingelse.com. We got some stuff up. Merch is coming out in the next month or 2. So please stay tuned. But my name is Joshua and I'm out.